You might be wondering why my hair care videos have disappeared, or if you've been here a while, you may be missing them. Today I'm going to share the real reason why I took those videos down and how it's connected to my YouTube journey for creators over 40 and what it means for you. Stick around, it just might inspire you to recreate your own path. The question I keep getting from my followers is that, where are the hair care videos? And I just want to really express my extreme gratitude for the people that follow me for the hair care videos that I've uploaded. But I just wanted to let you know that I had to make a change. I've been doing hair care videos since 2012. And originally I was the guy behind the camera and I was filming all my other creators doing hair care videos and classes, shows, product reviews of that sort. And the problem with that is I'm not really building a brand for myself. What I've done over these years is basically build all the brands that are represented. I built their brands up. I built their creators. And, although I really enjoy doing all of those videos, it really is not really helping me at this stage in the game. One of the reasons why I made a shift is because what a lot of people may not understand is YouTube really wants you to really focus on a particular niche. I would make videos about hair care, and then, I had the intense desire to make other videos of product reviews, things that I've been through myself, some, life experiences, and things that I'm interested in doing. And one of those things is actually doing YouTube. And over the last few months or last year, I really wanted to make videos about how to help people my age or older, or, basically over 40, create a YouTube channel and get started making videos for themselves. And what I want to do is I just basically want to help other people get to that point where they feel comfortable making videos. Now, during all that time I've been making videos since 2012, I've made a lot of mistakes. And back then, making videos wasn't quite as easy as it is today. We had, YouTube wasn't as developed, and over the years they kept bringing out more and more features that make it easier. I can tell you one thing, uploading videos onto YouTube have become very fast, very efficient. Now that they utilize AI to analyze your video, it does a lot of things that it never could do before. Now it's not so important to use tags, whereas before it was very important to put relevant tags in the description to help people find your videos. Well, now, basically when you upload a video, YouTube analyzes the video. And as I'm getting older, I'm 63 now, the reason why I'm making this transition is I want to have something to transition to when it becomes time for me to retire from what I'm doing, working in the field, selling hair care products. Now, right now, everything is, I have no plans of leaving, but, the industry has gotten to be a lot tougher in the recent past year or so, and especially in the last few months. And some of our brands have been purchased by major companies, and some of our biggest brands are no longer exclusive to us. And so it's making me think, they've always said, even though we're independent reps, they tell us that everything that we sell and all the business that we develop is our business. Well, in actuality, it's not. When we leave, all of those relationships and developments or sales that we've made, the residuals, they're gone. We leave them behind. And if another brand purchases our particular brand and they no longer utilize our distributorship to sell the product, then all of that business that we developed over those years is gone also. And this is happening. This has happened, to a major brand of ours. And it just made me think, all these years I've been making videos about other brands, and I was the guy behind the camera instead of the guy in front of the camera. And it just, it just makes more sense to build my own brand and have people follow me for who I am rather than for what I'm selling. And because I've been enjoying making videos over all these years, and when I started all of this, I didn't really know any tech. I remember when I first joined this company, they didn't even have a website. And so I set out to do it because, at the time, people kept asking me, well, do you have a catalog? And I'm like, no, we don't have a catalog. We just have this little dinky little brochure. And then they would ask me, do you have a website? And I'm like, no. I was kind of like really embarrassed because at the time I felt like if you're a company or a major company and you don't have a website, you're not really legit. And that's kind of how I felt. And, in this day and age, you really do need to have a website if you're a company, or else you're not really legit. And, I just feel like that's very important to solidify your brand and who you are compared to all the other companies out there. And, in the very beginning, because our company didn't have that set up, they didn't really have a tech department, I took it upon myself to start creating a website. And I started out doing it for myself, not knowing anything about it. In fact, I remember how I started doing it. I just purchased a piece of software. This was in Costco when they were selling software years and years ago. And I bought this program, and I can't even remember what it was called, but it was a website builder. And of course, when I got it, it was outdated. I loaded it up, and it needed to be updated, and so I did all of that, and I had it in my mind what I thought I wanted to create, but I didn't really know how to do it. And when I was ready to publish it, it didn't work. And so I reached out to the technical support, and they kind of figured out what I did wrong, and they got me up and running. And that was the beginning of me actually starting doing tech because, even though I didn't know what I was doing, I actually had a working website for myself. And when I showed it to, one of the co-owners of the company, this is years ago, they really liked the idea, and they purchased the website from me. And, they already had the domain name, which was thesaloncenter.com. And, from there, they actually utilized my website for the longest time until about a couple of years ago. They decided they wanted to go in a different direction because they had it in their mind they wanted to create an online shopping site, which after about 2 years, they finally put together. But unfortunately, they've lost all of the information that I had about each of our brands, that were on the website. But I digress. That basically, just so you know, even though if you don't know anything about tech, it's easily learned, even when you're older. And I think I was about 52 years old when I started YouTube, and I didn't know anything about that. But I had to learn YouTube because my problem was when I was doing videos or recording these classes and shows and stuff, I had to find a place to put them so that people could watch them. And back in those days, you had to buy hosting to host any videos anywhere, and it got very expensive. And YouTube was like one of the few free platforms, if the only free platform where you can host your videos and share a link so that they can watch it. And so that's how I got started with it. But now it's become this huge platform that is number one out there. There's nobody else that has a platform quite like YouTube. In fact, they stream more videos than any other network or platform combined. They're the number one streaming service, and of course, they're owned by YouTube, Google, and so they have an excellent search engine because Google created it, and it's only the YouTube search is only second behind Google. And so that's one of the other cool things is if you create a YouTube channel for yourself, you're creating something that you could either utilize it to help you sell a product or service, or even help promote your business, or even if you don't even have a business and it's just a hobby, something that you're promoting as a hobby. Get this, you never know where it might take you. Your videos may take off. YouTube may love putting them in front of people, and people may react to them in a very positive way, and your channel could blow up. And before you know it, you've got money coming in that, just because you created really good content. And so your whole life could change because of doing that. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to do this switch, is because it just makes more sense for where I'm at in my life. And the problem is, when most YouTube experts out there, when they say if you have multiple interests, you should create a different channel, because they really all say you need to, really niche down. You need to define what kind of videos you're going to make. Like before, mine were about hair care, and I would venture off into other things over the years, and I put some personal stuff on there, and but over the years, my channel became a hair care, professional hair care, or a beauty channel. And so when I would upload things to make the shift into what I was wanting to do for YouTube, I was using some different software that would identify my videos and help me come up with video ideas. And they kept showing me hair care stuff because my channel is known for that. And so they weren't even showing me anything about YouTubers or how to start a YouTube channel, any of that kind of stuff. And so I realized, and I even used my AI programs to evaluate what should I do. Most of the experts say, you just need to start another channel. But my problem is I don't have the time to start another channel. If you haven't already done so, once you start a YouTube channel, you just need to focus on just one channel. And I would forget all the other social media platforms unless you're very popular and you got a lot of followers, like say Instagram or TikTok. But if you don't, I would just forget about all the others and just focus on YouTube. Because I'll be honest with you, it's a lot of work to create a YouTube channel, to keep one going. It's not a be a big success overnight type of platform. And most people that you see seem like they blow up out of nowhere. They become famous overnight. That's the furthest thing from the truth. Most of them have been on YouTube for years, or started and stopped, or created other channels. And so, like everything else that requires success, sometimes your first go at it's not going to be successful. But I think if you just stay the course and just keep focusing on YouTube, your channel will take off. My channel, for example, for years, I had roughly about 2,000 followers, and they came very, very slow. I mean, I did not grow my channel very quickly by any means, like a lot of other people have, because I wasn't really focused on becoming a YouTube creator or anything like that. It was just a place to host my videos and share my professional beauty information to my clients. So I wasn't really looking to get a huge following, although I did like the views when I could get them. It just made you feel good because you just felt like you put out a good video. And not all of your videos will even take off or even have hardly any views. That's the sad thing about YouTube. But you got to remember, there's so many people uploading videos every day, every minute. I mean, thousands and thousands of videos every minute. So there's a lot of competition out there, but also the way the platform is designed now is designed to show people the content they want to watch. And because of the AI and the algorithm of YouTube, when you're doing a search or scrolling through YouTube, it kind of knows the kind of stuff that you're used to watching, and it will show you videos based on that. So that's the kind of cool thing, is that even if you're a brand new creator and you create something that other people, that YouTube may think other people might like, they'll show it to them and test it out to see, hey, are people going to click on this? Did they make a thumbnail that makes them click? Is the title really good to where they will want to click on that information? And once they do, will they see a hook good enough to attract them, to keep them watching? And will the content continue to keep them on there? And listen, if all of those things happen, YouTube is going to really start showing it to a lot of people. And before you know it, it can explode. You know, your channel could, all it takes is one really good video to take off. And that's kind of what happened to me. And I'll tell you another story. When this is a few years ago, when the Instagram reels and the TikTok reels and everything were starting to take off, I started really like taking some shorts from one of our creators of one of our brands. And, you know, they actually encouraged me to do it. You know, this was a point where they wanted us to repost a lot of their content, because the more people that saw it, the more word that got out there, you know, the more advertising that was done. And I took one video, and it was like on the root cover up, root touch up, which for whatever reason, there's so many people that just love seeing that being demonstrated. And so I took this educator's video, you know, the one that I worked with for so many years. And I changed the music, because back then that's when, you know, the music, the catchy tunes and everything were really popular. And I changed the speed of it and all of that. And for whatever reason, it just took off. YouTube started showing it. And I think some of it happened on some of my other platforms, but really YouTube, it just exploded. And I think that first one did about 3 million views. And then about a year later, another one of my videos, and this was the biggest one of them all, it eventually did over 17 million views. Same kind of product too. It was a video similar to that. Why it took off, I don't know. But, you know, some of my other ones that were on the same subject didn't go as good as that one. And so those videos, and I think I've had quite a few viral videos along that lines, not quite near as much, but either in the low millions or in the high 100,000 range. And those just actually help catapult my channel, and it allowed my subscriber count to grow. Although they say that once you get into shorts, you know, people that subscribe from shorts isn't really in tune with who you are. It's just because they scrolled and they decided to hit subscribe because they liked your video. But, you know, the real valuable subscribers are the ones that subscribe for long form content like I'm making now. And so I just want to plead with any of my subscribers that subscribe, because you're subscribing to a YouTube video of mine that was about hair care, and it was probably a short, more than likely. I invite you to stick around and, you know, stay on the platform and see where I take this, because, you know, even though my channel is switching to more about helping new creators over 40 start a YouTube channel and create content, and it's also designed to help them make money on the platform. And that's where I'm actually headed myself. So I haven't got it all figured out, but I'm going to be creating content and learning along the way. And hopefully I will be very successful along with my other followers that hopefully follow me doing the same thing. Consider sticking around. And if you haven't already subscribed to my YouTube channel, please click the subscribe button, click the bell to make sure you get notified when I upload a new video. I'm going to try to do 2 of these a week. You know, I may do more depending on the complexity of the video. A video like this is not too bad. Probably won't add much to it, but this is more about where my mindset is and why you should do YouTube and why you need to focus on a niche. And the biggest reason why I cannot keep those hair care videos on here is because if I'm doing and want people to see my videos about how to do YouTube, I don't want those hair care videos to confuse the YouTube algorithm. Because what's going to happen is if they see a lot of hair care videos on there, then they're going to get confused and not show your video to anybody or very few people. And it's going to be a much more bigger challenge to grow my YouTube channel when the algorithm is not even sure who to show my videos to. The good news is all my videos that I had on the channel aren't gone. I did not delete them. I just unlisted them. And hopefully the unlisted will be good enough to keep the algorithm happy. Now, for my clients, I'm going to have a private place where they'll be able to find the videos. I'm in the process of setting that up. If you're one of my customers, just message me or call me and I'll give you the link. Unfortunately, for my YouTube subscribers, I may or may not be able to share those links depending on what it is. But if you reached out and you need a particular video, I can share that video with you. One of the things that is really good about the fact that I spent all of those years creating videos about hair care is that, they're kind of related to the direction that I'm going. And when I asked the AI, is this a good idea or should I just totally start a new channel altogether? And it actually said, because they're kind of similar in concept as far as, what I'm going to be talking about and the information that I know and the technology that I know about, I had to utilize the technology to create those videos. And it actually suggested that I do make the pivot and not start another channel because it is too much work to keep two channels up. So it recommended pivoting, and it did recommend trying to unlist all my hair care videos or most of them and keep the majority of my videos on my platform to be, about the new direction that I'm going, which is, helping creators over 40. So that's what I've done. And, so far it's, the videos that I've been posting have not been getting a lot of views. And I'm okay with that as long as I can continue to improve and make better videos as time goes on. Now, these videos are probably perfectly fine. It's just that YouTube is still trying to figure out what my channel is about. So they're not sure if I'm going to make any more hair care videos or if this is the new direction. Something for you to consider is that if you get to a certain point in your life, whether it's with your job or your relationships, your career, or what you're going to do when or when you're facing retirement. Do you want to just completely quit doing work, or do you want to just make a pivot and do something totally different? Now, I could have just continued making videos about hair care, but and especially since I don't know where my career is going to take me, because I feel like at this point, if things start going south with my particular job because of how the industry is changing so much, sales reps aren't as valued as they used to be because now products are being sold everywhere. They're basically just commodities. And when you don't have much of a point of difference other than your personality and what you have to personally offer, and a lot of times, unless you're buying a lot of products, these independent hairdressers just want to go to the store just to save that little bit of money for freight or shipping. And they don't realize they're wasting more time. They're wasting their own money, because they don't value their own time. And I think, think about the changes that you need to make in order to take a total mind shift in a new direction in your life. If you're in that same phase in your life like I am, let me know in the comments. Let me know what's going on with you, because, I've only known this world since 2010, I think is when I started or no, actually it was 1994 when I started the beauty business. And, back in 2000, the year 2000, we were actually purchased by a big beauty supply house. And that turned our world upside down. So I've already been through this before. But let me know if you've been through this, and are you also challenged to do the same kind of thing? Maybe not with video, but are you at a phase in your life where you have to decide whether it's worth, sticking it out, or maybe you got let go because of the way the economy is, or who knows what. But let me know in the comments what your situation is. And also, let me know in the comments, are you disappointed with the fact that I don't have hair care videos here? And also let me know if you're enjoying the new content, because that will help me decide whether I need to make another pivot or not. And do you like these real life, unscripted videos? I've got bullet points to go by, but basically everything I'm saying is unscripted. I don't have a teleprompter in front of me. It's just my camera. So the bottom line is, this is the reason why I switched my direction with my YouTube channel. And this has been my story. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Take care.